It is always fun when I get a chance to talk about varieties, errors. Remember that book that's been published for about a half a century now, The Cherry Picker's Guide? If you go on the internet, what do I look for when I get a handful of Wheaties, those types of things? Well, the U.S. Mint in the 50s and early 60s were doing their best to conserve dollars and cents. But that created some unique errors, and we're thankful now a half a century later. Tonight, we got a couple of those Type B reverses back in stock, and crazy affordable. So what does this mean? Let's start with that. What is a Type B reverse? Well, if you remember at this time in history, in the late 50s, early 60s, we had Philadelphia and Denver making our circulating coins. And at that time in history, Philadelphia made all of our proof coins. San Francisco took over in '68. Well, for the last 20 or 30 years, Bill, our friend Bill, has been part of a revolution of uniqueness on coins. Why is this one, or so few of them, like this? And the quarter series from the late 50s and early 60s is an example of that. What it is the reverse of a regular uncirculated coin is slightly different than that of a proof coin. You can see it here, a regular proof and then a Type B reverse on an uncirculated coin. So what they did is, when the year was getting late, instead of making a new die for Philadelphia, and they were done making proof sets that year, they would take a proof die and push it over to general circulation. For the longest time, these were unique. How'd they do this? It's a big time. And finally, somebody figured it out. They looked at the back of a proof quarter, and it looked just like the back of this uncirculated quarter, but no others. From what experts believe, and Bill is one of those experts, and he wrote a book about coins like this, of which these are covered in more than a couple of places. Here are some of the crazy numbers. It's why I love them. In 1959, Philadelphia, they made 24.3 million coins for circulation. In 1960, they made 29.1 million coins. Why do all the experts believe one die was pushed at the end of the year into regular production? It's because over the last 40 years, and these errors have been known for 40 years, NGC has only certified in 64 grade or higher, which is a high grade for a Washington quarter anyways, much more so for these errors. 1,223 on the 1959, and less than 1,000 on the 1960, 941. Trust me, what's the number one thing we teach somebody new here that works with us in our grading and or receiving area corporately? On the quarters, from the late 50s to the early 60s, uncirculated, turn it over and look at the E and the S in states. Easiest place to see it. Are they knocking each other, or is there a space? We're always praying we find the space. We never do. Now, the other unique thing about these is every single one of these is from Bill's collection. They all have his label. The Cherry Picker's Guide, a special deal he cut with NGC to certify all of his special coins. And this is not a facsimile signature, he personally signed every single one of these coins. The label on top. Making this even smaller inside of that 1,223 and 941. Now we found our competition with the 59. They were at 89. We found the 1960. They were 109. Now, if we were looking at anything else in history, if we were looking at a silver eagle, and we had 1,000 of them known this nice, which means we're talking 95 W money, we'd be over 5 grand. Because the coin's bigger. Sure. That's why those rare nickels and cents don't sell for millions of dollars. But part of it is the story, part of it's our history, and this coin kind of touches on a lot of it, right? I mean, today waste is everywhere. We see it, and it's not a lot of fun for those of us that just on the topic. But back then, the U.S. Mint had P's and D's. There were no S's in circulation. And when the year was getting late, instead of making a new die, somebody in the office says, hey, we got proof dies. They look the same. There's no mint mark in Philadelphia, so use the proof die. Sure, why not? Thank you for saving how many thousands of dollars for us taxpayers. Right? And then, years later, we look at the back of these coins and say, hold it, there's something really different here. And then somebody finally figured it out. Cherry Picker's Guide, the clan that was all behind it. And we love that clan. Notice that, okay, there was a proof die that was made with uncirculated coins. In the gold series, remember the W mint mark on an uncirculated coin? Same concept, just a half a century older. Guys, give me a 30-second clock. The best part about this is the fact that, one, it's an autographed personal coin from the guy. And it's that rare. And it's this affordable. That is why I love them. Now, we do see some of the other years, the 57s, 58s, 61s, 62s, not as frequent, but we do see them. And as we do, they're always on our website, so check us out. But tonight, this is the fun deal. 59s and 60s, in 4 grades, signed by Bill himself, the author of the Cherry Picker's Guide. It's with his label on these coins. Not $89, not $109. Our price, $59.95. Your choice. Don't miss out.